We got rid of more players than we brought in when we needed to make our squad bigger and improve it in depth. That just screams stupidity and just lack of ambition to me. Hello there guys, and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for my transfer window review basically. And I'm going to speak about the whole transfer window, our wins, our outs, and what I think of all of it, and then I will give it a rating out of 10 at the end. Now we had 3 players coming in this window: Ross Barkley, Emerson Palmieri and Olivier Giroud. Check out the videos we made about all of them as well to find out more if you don't know enough about them already. And also we had 4 outs. We didn't sell anyone, but we loaned 4 players out. Kennedy to Newcastle, Baba Rahman to Schalke and Charlie Musonda to Celtic, both for 18 months. And Michy Batshuayi to Dortmund until the end of the season. Same goes for Kennedy. Like I said, we got rid of more players than we brought in, even though Baba wasn't really involved, so say 3-4-3. But still we needed to make a squad bigger and improve it in depth. And like I said, it just screams stupidity and just pure lack of ambition to me, and it's bloody frustrating is what it is. But what do I think about the players that we brought in? Well, Barkley for 15 million isn't too bad. He's a good player that can develop into a much better player than he is right now. You can judge him on the 2 performances that he's had for us so far, because yesterday was literally his first start since May, obviously with this massive rupturing of his hamstring basically. So obviously he's going to be rusty. Not starting since May. Even though I did think he was actually quite decent. He wasn't too bad yesterday until he came off. But still, he is obviously still going to be rusty. But is Ross Barkley the kind of player a club like Chelsea should go out and sign when we're the reigning champions and what, 15 or more points now behind Manchester City? No, I don't think so. I think we should have tried to go for better, for bigger and better. But that doesn't take away Barkley being a decent signing and player himself. Coming to Emerson Palmieri. Like I told you guys before, I didn't know much about him before we signed him, before the rumours started, to evolve around him. Yes, I listened to what people that know their way around Italian football had to say about him, and that does sound good. But nonetheless, he was out injured until late December and started only 1 game since returning from his ACL injury. So basically, him and Ross Barkley are in the same situations right now, both being subbed on in 1 game and started 1 other game after coming back from a very severe injury. But with Emerson, I'm quite happy, if you will. We needed a real left wing back option to go alongside Marcos Alonso. Whether he can replace said Marcos Alonso in the starting 11 remains to be seen. Again though, in our position, in the table and with the whole thing going on, shouldn't we have done everything to sign someone like Alexandro? I think so, because in the formation we use, the wingbacks are almost the most important players from the lot of them. So the better they are, the more likely you are that the formation is going to work. But still, Emerson should be decent. He still can improve a lot at the age of 23, and any left wing back option was better than not getting any left wing back option alongside Alonso, especially after loaning Kennedy out. Of course, we'll have to wait and see how good he is after his injury. But, people from Italy have said even if we just get 80 or 90% of the player he was last season, he would walk into the starting 11 ahead of Marcos Alonso. But we'll have to wait and see. And the last of the players that we did sign, Olivier Giroud. And this is a tough one. For what Conte wanted, a target ban? He is more than just a decent option, I said that in the announcement video of his signing yesterday as well. But should we play in a way that needs a target man? That's where I think the problem lies. We shouldn't need a target man. We need one, partly because of Conte's style, but also because of our midfield. Conte is great, yeah? But the others, they all have major flaws. Drinkwater is decent at everything, really, but not particularly good at anything either. Bakayoko is strong, but even that he doesn't use as well as possible. Even though he has improved recently, apart from that mistake that led to Bournemouth's first goal yesterday, he did improve in the last few games, I thought, but he's still not very good. He's not showing 8 out of 10 or better performances. People say he's improved. Yeah, okay, so he went from a 2 out of 10 to a 4 or 5 out of 10. That's still not good enough, is it? And Fabregas, well, he can pass. We all know that. His vision is immaculate. Also, defensively, his positional awareness, I think, is usually quite decent. Although, even though he knows where he has to be, sometimes he's just too slow to actually get there. So sometimes his positioning isn't great, but more because of his lack of pace, I think. He doesn't shy away from a tackle or anything like that. He does try. Doesn't always get it right, but he does try his hardest. You can't fault Fabregas for that. He does work hard. But like I said, he is just too slow. And all of those midfielders together, all of their flaws, that doesn't allow us to play our way from defence to attack, as well as, we should, including obviously the wing-backs and left centre-back not being the best passers either. Rudiger's alright at passing, but his defensive positioning isn't just isn't very good. And that's why we need a target man, in my opinion, because we can't pass it out well enough, so we have to play it long. And then, to get it to Hazard and Willian and Pedro as well as possible, we need a target man to lay it off to them. Because I think that's the main reason for that. Coming back to Giroud though, with what Conte wanted and needed, it's a decent signing. But what needed to be done to get Giroud is what annoys me the most. And that leads me on to the outs of this window. Michy Batshuayi. Did we have to loan him out to get Giroud and not have a striker last night, which does make staying in the top 4 a tougher job, as we're now only 2 points ahead of 5th? And if we really had to loan him to Dortmund to get Giroud, was there really no other tall target man striker out there available that would have meant that we can keep Michy? And not just that, loaning out Batshuayi to Dortmund and signing Giroud allowed Arsenal to sign a world-class striker in Aubameyang. I still do not understand why we didn't try to sign Aubameyang. Yes, Conte, and maybe the board didn't want him, or, they're scared of his bad behaviours, which obviously was a major issue at Dortmund at times. But still, he's a world-class striker. Olivier Giroud is not. It's as simple as that. For Michy himself, this is a good move. If not a very good move. He will be their main striker. He will play every week for a very good team in the Bundesliga. And I'm sure he'll get goals as well. But for us, indirectly strengthening a rival in Arsenal and not having a striker last night certainly wasn't great, especially because I believe that you need 3 out-and-out strikers at your club. Coming to Charlie Musonda, who obviously was loaned to Celtic for 18 months. From what I've heard, he's already played well in his first 2 appearances for them, but that's exactly what kind of worries me. Like, you shouldn't be playing really well at 21 when you move to a completely different league. It doesn't really make sense, and I'm kind of worried that the Scottish League won't challenge Musonda enough to improve as much as he could do in a different league. Possibly in the Premier League for, a mid-table club if one of them wanted him. But the problem obviously was that he wanted, wanted to be promised football. And Brendan Rodgers at Celtic promised him first-team football, regular first-team football. And apparently the other clubs that he spoke to just said, well, you will get your chance, but you'll have to prove yourself and you have to fight for your team. And like I said, Brendan Rodgers basically promised him the starting spot. So it doesn't make sense why he went there, but like I said, I'm not sure the Scottish League is good enough and, difficult enough to challenge him as much as he should, really. Yes, he will get used to the physical side of things up there, but apart from that, the Scottish League isn't exactly the greatest. But I am happy that he did get an 18-month loan, because that way I think he can settle and actually improve until he comes back. The only thing is, couldn't we have needed him? Yes, Conte didn't use him, basically at all. Although, to be fair, he did also miss 2 or 3 cup games with injury that he might have featured in. But yesterday then we brought on Hudson-Odoi in the 65th minute, which I was very happy about. And, Hudson-Odoi looks good and looks very, very promising. But is he better than Charlie Musonda at this moment in time? I don't think so. I wouldn't say so. For Musonda himself, it's a good move, and hope he does well there. But, obviously because of Willian's injury and Morata's injury, that's why we brought on Hudson-Odoi. And, Musonda possibly would have come on instead of Hudson-Odoi if he was still here. And generally, if we don't have that many injuries, neither of Hudson-Odoi nor Musonda will play a lot. But still, sometimes you could need them. And the last one being Kennedy, who was obviously loaned out to Newcastle until the end of the season. And well, he isn't a proper wing-back, but he wasn't being used as a winger. And with us signing Emerson, he wasn't going to play a single minute and a single game anymore this season. So it's a good move for him. Newcastle wanted him in the summer already, but Chelsea failed to buy another left wing-back, and that's why we didn't let him go out. He already started for Newcastle yesterday in their 1-1 draw against Burnley and created the most chances out of all players on the pitch, which is obviously, it's a good start. So I really do hope that he does well. I hope he improves and possibly can come back to Chelsea and feature for Chelsea as a winger. I don't think, unless we lose Hazard, which I hope we don't, truly hope we don't, I don't think he will be a starter for us, of course not. But, if he can come back and be an option and be a proper squad player that is used here and there and everywhere, with rotation and coming on in games, I think that will be good. And then the last one, obviously, Baba Rahman. I don't have much to say about him, but it will be interesting to see how quickly he will start playing for Schalke. Because his recovery from his ACL injury has been slow, very slow. He's been out for almost a year now and still hasn't trained with the rest of the squad more than twice, as far as I know, and that I find a little bit strange. Of course, you can get setbacks in your recovery, but it's still a little bit strange. To be honest, I don't think Baba Rahman will ever play for Chelsea again. His contract at Chelsea runs until the end of the 19-20 season, and he's loaned out to Schalke until a year before that. So I think we might very well sell him at the end of his loan spell. But obviously we'll have to wait and see. Overall, it's not been a great window. We simply lacked ambition to sign players that will genuinely improve our starting 11 by a good bit. We didn't sign any player that will do that. We messed up in the summer when we should have improved in quality and in depth. And in January, you can't really salvage that anymore. But also we didn't try to salvage it as much as maybe we should have tried. If I had to rate the window out of 10, I'd probably give it a 3.5. It would be a 4, but the fact that we allowed Arsenal to sign Aubameyang pisses me off, so it's not a 4, it's a 3.5. Had we kept Michy Batshuayi, obviously therefore then Arsenal not got Aubameyang, probably would have given it a 5, maybe 5.5. But that's really it for me. Leave me your thoughts and also let me know what would you rate our transfer window out of 10. Leave it down in the comment section below. Also leave a like if you did enjoy this video. Don't forget to check out my social media, Lavs1507 on both Instagram and Twitter. As you can see over here, I'd massively appreciate it if you could follow me there. And also don't forget to subscribe to 100% Chelsea if you haven't already. Thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea, and I'll see you next time.